been a while.
It's been a couple weeks. Stuff happens. Personal stuff. Hope it didn't screw up our algorithm. But
okay.
Possibly. Who knows? Yep, we did some vacation. We could share some pictures, possibly. Us hanging out on the beaches of the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Letting them know our location. Mm-hmm.
That was a week ago. They're not going to find us there now. Was it a week ago? Yeah. And then 2 days ago. No, yesterday I spent the night in Albany, New York because of my work. I'm not there tonight.
No.
So they're not going to find me there. Albany's big. The whole city. It's crazy. It's hot.
I bet.
So hot.
It's been getting up into the 90s where we live.
Ooh, yes. And I don't know how the thermostat thing or the thermometer thing works in vehicles. Like when a vehicle sets in the heat. Probably a good question. Probably do a shorty on it. When a vehicle sets in the heat, when we got back in the work truck, that thing said 106 degrees. A little toasty.
Just a bit.
Yeah. I have an undershirt and a t-shirt completely soaked in sweat. Yeah, working outside. That's crazy.
I don't want an outside job.
Maybe.
I want me an inside job where I can work on sciencey things.
Or you can set things on fire.
Or make the fire change color.
Oh, yep, that'll do it. You can do that in your fire pit, your backyard.
Yeah.
Different chemicals.
Yeah.
You want to breathe that in. So, kind of like we said in our previous episode, we're going to take a little break from ye old Norse mythology. It goes deep. It goes lots of stories. We gotta suss out the chronology of how the stories go because we want to build on everything to build up to the ultimate Ragnarok. And that's the way it's gonna go. The chronology is a little crazy. We just have to learn how to put it in order. So many stories. So we're taking a break from that. We're going to explore some other things. We will definitely get back to Norse mythology. And then get into the stories.
I do want to talk about it just for a minute, because I literally just started this show today.
Oh, I see. So maybe we should continue with it. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just telling a little story.
Okay.
I started this show that's on Paramount Plus, and I've seen skits of it, so I really wanted to watch it. So I saw it on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
And it's called Ghost. And there's a Viking who is a ghost. And at one point he cursed the two main characters with Jormungandr will visit you in your sleep and your baby will have the head of a cabbage.
What? Did it work? You don't know yet?
I'm only 3 episodes in the show.
I want to watch that show. This has got the girl in it that was from iZombie. Yeah, it's a pretty good show too. You should see if that's on one of the streaming services we have. I think we watched. For some reason we stopped watching it at we had 5 episodes left and we knew it was ending. And we stopped watching it then for whatever reason. Your mother and I. She's a good actress and Ghost is looks like a fun show. I think we started it and Paramount Plus is being choppy. Kind of glitchy. I don't know if they're still making new episodes. Do you know if there's going to be a new season?
I don't know. Probably, because it was live TV, because it's from CBS.
Right.
But they put it on Paramount Plus.
Oh, yeah. Parent company. Yep. Now this topic was your suggestion.
Yes.
in the previous one because we kind of skipped over it, which would have been perfect for this
4th
month.
of July.
Right. So we're gonna talk about all about the 4th of July, the who's its and what's its of that. And 4th of July is not the only Independence Day that is celebrated in the whole wide world.
It's just the most popular one.
Well, for us, it's America's Independence Day.
And we escaped the British.
Something like that. But in the last couple of days, I don't think anybody's actually voted on it. I've set up a poll on our Instagram and our Facebook. They were separate because I don't think the Instagram polls go to Facebook. Whatever the case may be, they're two separate polls. The question was, which country is the greatest exporter of Independence Days? And we're going to reveal the answer at the end of this episode. Dun dun dun. Top 5. We're going to reveal the top 5 countries which created Independence Days for other countries. But first, we're going to get into this one.
Ours.
Yes.
Which happened 25 days ago.
What? 25 and 249 years ago? 249 years and... Oh. Right? 249 years and 25 days ago.
Not doing that math.
Yeah, it'll be 250 years next year.
17.
America will be 250 years old next year. How about that?
America's kind of old.
Well, the Roman Empire only lasted 300 years. So
Well,
things might get dicey in your lifetime.
it's kind of happening right now.
Things are dicey currently.
Never heard of the Trisha Paytas theory?
So who's that guy? Trisha Paytas?
Yeah, Trisha Paytas.
Well, who's that? What's that?
She's like an influencer, but she's lived so many lives. She's tried out for the world record of like speaking fast.
Okay.
And she's done so many other things, but right now she's an influencer and she has had 3 children.
Okay.
And the first one she had, the Queen died. Second one she had, King Philip. What's his name? King Charles?
Okay. King Chuckles?
Yeah. He got like diagnosed with some type of illness.
So he won't last much longer.
And also Pope Francis.
So her 3rd child was born when Pope Francis died?
No, that was her 2nd child. She just had Aquaman.
Was a double whammy. You just had to do now what?
She just had her 3rd child, Aquaman, Moses Paytas Hackman.
What?
Her first child, which was a girl, was Malibu Barbie.
What?
I forget her 2nd child's name, but it's definitely something crazy. And that was like 10 minutes after Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh my goodness. That's some things that happened last week.
And Jason Momoa was also at Ozzy's last concert.
And he played Aquaman. Wow.
Greatest theory.
She should stop having kids.
Yeah. So many legends are dying. What was it? About the Queen. What was her nickname?
Queen Victoria?
No, Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth. Lizzie?
About her, like, she can't die.
Oh. But she did. I don't know. Queen Victoria was a while ago. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, she was in, like, the 1800s.
Right. Who was in charge when the U.S. became a country? We'll probably find out as we read this. So that was our cold opening. We were chit-chatting.
Treasure Page's theory.
You're Phoenix, I'm Will, and we're here to bring on the questions. It only took us 10 minutes to get that far. Where can everybody find our episodes and such?
Linktree.com/BOTQS.
It is that easy to find the links to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, bunch of other places the podcast appears on. I should put it on Pandora. Just talk to somebody who listens to stuff on Pandora. One of the band ads. You'll watch the episode on our YouTube. All the links can be found at linktree.com/BOTQS. Crazy. So, Miss Phoenix, what question are we bringing in this episode?
Why is the 4th of July America's Independence Day?
Right. Ready?
Yeah.
Shall we? Independence Days are more than mere public holidays. They represent pivotal? Too many syllables in that. They represent pivotal moments in a nation's historical trajectory, embodying the triumph of self-determination over external control or internal oppression. These commemorative days encapsulate a nation's arduous journey towards sovereignty, a path frequently forged through struggle, sacrifice, and the collective resolve of its populace. They serve as annual affirmations of a nation's foundational principles, its distinct identity, and the core values it upholds. We'll begin with a detailed exploration of the United States' 4th of July, tracing the complex events that led to its Declaration of Independence. If we have time, we'll also talk about the diverse narratives of independence across the globe, from nations such as India, Mexico, Brazil, South Africa, and Ghana. These examples illuminate the unique paths each nation navigated to achieve self-rule or liberation. If we don't get to those are things we will probably explore in future episodes because they are pretty fascinating. And each one is a unique way for their Declaration of Independence. So we'll talk about America's, and then the one country, America did it one way, India did it another way, Mexico did it a different way, Brazil did it a different way. They're all unique ways that these major countries declared independence from their, I don't know, whoever was running the country, however that works.
From what I know of other countries gaining independence, in social studies, I've really only learned about India's independence.
Yeah.
And we have talked about in there how India definitely had a better way of gaining their independence. Not as many people died.
Subtle.
It was
more
subtle. Peaceful.
Peaceful. That's a word to use for it. Sure.
It was peaceful.
Yeah. Wasn't chaotic. America was a little chaotic.
It was the 1700s. What else were we supposed to do?
Fight about taxes on tea.
We did that.
Yeah, it's in here. Read the next one. Keep going.
The American colonies' separation from the British Empire in 1776 was not an abrupt occurrence, but the culmination of mounting discontent stemming from unpopular British policies and a fundamental divergence in governance philosophies. A central grievance resolved around the concept of taxation without representation, where colonists were compelled to pay taxes to the British government, yet were denied any voting rights in British elections. This inherent contradiction fueled a growing sense of injustice and a desire for greater autonomy.
It's very interesting thinking about the current craziness in the United States where so there's a lot of immigrants who are not actual citizens of the United States of America. However, they are still paying taxes on sales and I guess it's mostly sales, if they are not declared a citizen, they're not paying taxes on, like, they might be paying property tax in some fashion, but they're not paying yearly taxes like we do. But they're paying sales tax, which is, it's a funny gray area because taxation without representation. So if they are a foreign immigrant who's paying taxes, sales tax, which is a weird, it's still tax. They can't vote because they're not American citizens. It's process. It's a minefield of stuff that's happening right now. Mine, M-I-N-E, and mind field, because it's very difficult to understand all this stuff that's happening with all these things. And it's tough to pick a side for all this chaos that's happening. Like, we don't want to rip families apart, but if they want to be citizens, there's process. Just go through the process. But it's crazy that they would rip, the current administration is going to rip families apart. I don't know, to teach them how to go through the process, or force is not the right word to say, but I don't know. I don't know if an ultimatum is a better way to do it, to get people to go through the citizenship process. I don't know if there could be a time limit. It's tough. It's a tough call. I don't want to see families separated, but I mean, there's rules and there's laws, and I don't know. This is such a gray area to figure out, and it's super tough. And here you are, only a dozen years old, and seeing this chaos happening. Not that it didn't happen before. It's that we are in such a crazy information age that everybody knows everything at all the time.
Yeah. Like 5-year-olds could be knowing this stuff right now.
Right. And it would depend on their upbringing to determine their outlook on it. Like, some people are is super far, they want it to happen so bad, and then other people don't want it to happen at all, just leave them be. But there's got to be a happy medium. We have to look at all the sides. That's my opinion. That's what we're trying to teach you, is just, you have to see the perspective from all the angles. I'll step off my soapbox now, and we'll continue reading about the history of how we became an independent country. The period leading up to the American Revolution was marked by a series of escalating tensions and British legislative actions that progressively alienated the American colonies. The 7 Years' War, 1756 to 1763, which concluded the long-standing rivalry between Britain and France for control of North America, left Britain with substantial debt. This financial burden prompted the British government to seek new revenue streams from its colonies, initiating a cycle of taxation and colonial resistance.
A significant turning point was the Stamp Act of March 1765, which imposed a direct tax on various paper goods, documents, and playing cards within the colonies. Unlike previous policies, such as the Sugar Act of 1764, which primarily aimed at regulating trade and curbing smuggling, the Stamp Act directly impacted the daily lives of colonists. This direct taxation, coupled with the lack of colonial representation in the Parliament, ignited widespread unrest and led to boycotts of British goods. The Sons of Liberty, a secret society of American business leaders, famously articulated the rallying cry, taxation without representation. Despite the widespread opposition, the British Parliament maintained its perceived authority authority to tax the colonies.
There it is. I bet there's some crazy stories we can get into with the Sons of Liberty. Because they did all kinds of crazy stuff. We're going to talk about some of it now. This conviction led to the Townshend Acts passed in June 1767, a second attempt to generate income through surcharges on imported goods like glass, paint, and tea. These acts were met with renewed colonial resistance, including further boycotts. The increasing defiance prompted Britain to dispatch over 2,000 troops to Boston in an effort to restore order, inadvertently heightening tensions between the colonists and the British military. The strained relationship culminated in the Boston Massacre on March 5th, 1770. A deadly riot erupted on King Street in Boston when British soldiers, provoked by a group of angry colonists throwing insults and objects, opened fire on the crowd, resulting in the deaths of 5 Americans. In the aftermath, Britain eventually repealed most of the Townshend Acts, retaining only the tax on tea, which generated significant revenue. Why couldn't the colonists make their own tea? It wasn't there. By this time, you'd think any kind of whatever they were using to make tea, the tea leaves, you'd think they'd have a crop of it here by now. So, what are you guys doing? Why are you importing so much tea? That's crazy. Make your own.
Just make it yourself. You got paper, you got leaves, you got water.
Right.
You got string.
So I don't know, that there must be a bigger story that we don't understand about why they had to import that British tea. English breakfast. All right, keep going.
However, the continued tax on tea led to the Tea Act of May 1773, which allowed the British East India Company to sell tea directly to the colonies, duty-free but still subject to the remaining tax. In retaliation, on December 16,
300 years before that.
1773, a group of colonists, again led by the Sons of Liberty, executed the Boston Tea Party, dumping 342 chests of tea into the Boston harbor. This act, while preceded by other protests, marked a significant escalation in defiance of British rule and served to galvanize patriots across the colonies in their pursuit of independence. The British government's response to the Boston Tea Party was punitive, enacting the coercive Acts in May 1774, which colonists branded as the Intolerable Acts. These laws included measures such as closing Boston's port, ending free elections of town officials, and transferring judicial authority to Britain. These coercive measures further inflamed colonial resistance and prompted the formation of the Continental Congress to coordinate a unified response, including a boycott of British goods.
Chaos everywhere. British efforts to suppress colonial dissent extended to disarming the colonists. That's not a good idea. General Thomas Gage, governor of Massachusetts, attempted to seize ammunition, exemplified by the raid on the Powder House in September 1774. Such actions further escalated tensions and set the stage for armed conflict. In response, colonial leaders like John Hancock and Samuel Adams established a provincial congress and a committee of safety, creating spy networks to forewarn against British raids. This demonstrated a clear move towards organized and unofficial self-governance in preparation for armed resistance. Oh, those guys. John Hancock and Samuel Adams. Excuse you.
It's the chair.
Keep going.
The American Revolution? The American Revolution was not a singular, spontaneous event, but a prolonged process of escalating grievances, legislative responses, and colonial defiance. The 4th of July, while a pivotal commemoration, marks a formal declaration of intent rather than the immediate conclusion of the struggle. For over a decade, from the Stamp Act in 1765 to the Declaration in 1776, the colony's path to independence involved a gradual, often reluctant shift from seeking reconciliation with the British government to demanding complete separation. Even as fighting had been underway for over a year by July 1776, many colonial leaders initially harbored hopes of reconciliation, with only the most radical members of Congress advocating for immediate independence. This progression highlights the symbolic power of a declaration in galvanizing support in seeking international recognition even before the war's ultimate conclusion.
King George. That's it. That's the guy. He's in the notes now. You're so tired.
I've been working all day.
The American Revolution was shaped by a confluence of influential figures on both sides of the Atlantic. There's a list of them here, so I think we'll just tag team these and we'll say a little bit about, there's a little note about each one. So, number 1 here. King George III. As Great Britain's monarch, he aimed to maintain control and profitability of the American colonies. Despite internal ministerial dissent, he obstinately pursued the war. Ultimately, he accepted defeat in 1781 and authorized the Treaty of Paris in 1783, formally recognizing American independence. Well, late to the game there, pal, aren't we? 5 years after the United States declared independence themselves, old King George is like, all right, I guess.
George Washington. He served as the commander of the Continental Army, leading the fight against Britain. Despite numerous defeats and setbacks, his unwavering leadership inspired soldiers to persevere. Following the war, Washington was elected as the first president of the United States.
Yeah, he was.
USA.
GW himself.
USA, GW.
OG. I think they wanted to. We might get into deeper Washington stuff at some point, but I think they wanted him to do a 3rd term. He's like, that's crazy. I'm not doing a 3rd term. I'm retiring. All right. Thomas Jefferson, a prominent Virginian. Prominent Virginian politician and early supporter of the Patriot cause, Jefferson was the primary author of the Declaration of Independence. This foundational document articulated why the 13 colonies saw freedom from British rule and emphasized the importance of individual rights and freedom. Jefferson was a leading figure in shaping the philosophical underpinnings of the American Revolution and later became the 3rd U.S. president. Notably, his initial draft of the Declaration included a clause blaming King George III for the transatlantic slave trade, which was removed from the final text.
Benjamin Franklin.
Benny Franks.
An esteemed writer, philosopher, scientist, inventor, and diplomat, Franklin played a crucial role in the American Revolution. He assisted Jefferson in drafting the Declaration of Independence and famously remarked at its signing, "We must indeed all hang together, or most assuredly we shall all hang separately." During the war, Franklin was instrumental in securing France's vital alliance with the American colonies and was a key negotiator for the Treaty of Paris in 1783.
Benny Frank needs to get his own episode too. He's a special boy. John Adams, a member of the Committee of Five tasked with drafting the Declaration. Adams also played a significant role in negotiating the Treaty of Paris. After diplomatic service, he became Washington's vice president for 2 terms and was elected as the 2nd U.S. president in 1797.
Before I started reading Samuel Adams, I thought to myself, I wonder if John and him are related.
You got your answer.
A cousin of John Adams and a prominent leader of the Sons of Liberty, Samuel Adams is widely believed to have orchestrated the Boston Tea Party in 1773. His attempted arrest in 1775 may have been a catalyst for the battles of Lexington and Concord, marking the true onset of armed conflict. After the war, he served as governor of Massachusetts.
Yep. And now they use his likeness on the beer. Samuel Adams beer. Boston Lager.
Are the 13 colonies mostly the far most east?
Northeast.
Northeast.
So you just count the states down from Maine. Down to 13. I think Virginia? Pretty sure Virginia was one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can name all of them without looking at a map. Maine.
Yes, Virginia, because
New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Are you counting? I'm not counting. New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia. Was it all one for a while, and then West Virginia? I think that was it. Did you count 13? New Jersey?
I wasn't counting. But I know Virginia and Pennsylvania, yes, because Thomas Jefferson says a prominent Virginian politician.
There you go.
Context clues.
Count with me. Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia. Where are we at?
10.
Oh, there's just so many more. West Virginia? I don't know my history. Where we go? I don't think the Carolinas were yet. Ohio?
I'm looking it up.
All right, you look it up and I'll read about Patrick Henry. An influential founding father, Henry is most remembered for his impassioned speech at the Virginia Convention in 1775, where he declared, "Give me liberty or give me death." His powerful advocacy helped convince state governments to mobilize military action against the British. What do you got there? Connecticut. I forgot about Connecticut.
AI on Google says the original 13 colonies in order of their founding are Virginia, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware, North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Georgia.
Yeah, totally missed Delaware somehow. And I didn't think the Carolinas were.
Miss Georgia.
All the way down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Would have failed that one. Man, oh man. Virginia as it is there, because I'm pretty sure West Virginia was all part of, was one Virginia at some point.
It shows just one Virginia.
Well, no, that shows the shape of Virginia as it is now. West Virginia is over there in a goofy shape.
Oh.
Man, I'm disappointed in myself.
Okay,
so Vermont's not on the list. Maine's not on the list.
I think you went too north and not enough south.
I need to do better. Here, this is how I'll start. I'll read the next one about Thomas Paine. Then you can read about the women's contributions.
Because I'm a woman.
I'm getting there. Thomas Paine, an English-born school teacher and pamphleteer. I don't think that's a job anymore. Paine was a staunch supporter of American independence. His influential 47-page pamphlet, buddy, that's a small novel.
Yeah.
Common Sense, that's what it's called, published anonymously in 1776, served as a template and source of ideas for the Declaration of Independence.
I think some people need that pamphlet.
Yep, pamphlet, 47-page pamphlet. See, when I think of a pamphlet, trifold, 2 sides. Well, you got the one section, middle section, next section, then you flip it over, and you got all the same. You got 6 sections on a pamphlet. Not 47 pages in a pamphlet. What are you doing, T-Pain? This fool.
Now, when I read a book, I've read like 300-page books.
Right.
A 47-page book, I can read that in like a minute.
It's a novella. Novella? Something like that. Whatever the case may be. I think it's too big for a pamphlet. Too small for a book. What do you call it? A booklet?
Look.
A book. A booklet.
Yeah.
Figured it out. That's how it.
It's a little booklet.
I don't know. What is a booklet? We don't know.
It's a small book.
It's a shorty. We should do some short videos about that. Anyway, read about the women's contributions.
Women's contributions. I'm getting to be there. I'm a young lady.
Yes.
As one would say.
And hopefully you don't have to deal with suffrage. You know what that means? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Not suffering, but suffrage. I don't know what the actual definition of suffrage is, but women's suffrage. Maybe it was suffering. Anyway, sorry, I'm interrupting.
I don't know. The Revolutionary War also saw significant contributions from women. Abigail Adams, wife of John Adams, famously urged her husband to remember the ladies in the new code of laws. Mary Ludwig Hayes, known as Molly Pitcher, gained fame at the Battle of Monmouth in 1778 for bringing water to soldiers and even replacing her husband in the artillery. Margaret Corbin, another artilleryman's wife, became the first American female to receive a lifetime pension after fighting at Fort Washington in 1776. Phyllis Wheatley, the first published African-American woman, wrote patriotic poetry that even Commander George Washington read.
Awesome. They did what they could do. Being in such a male society, those women's did what they could do. And in their way.
I read about Molly Pitcher back in 5th grade.
She get that name because she brought pictures of water to the boys.
Probably. But I read about her in 5th grade when we were learning, like, we were on our book unit in ELA-ish.
Alright.
It was like enjoying classes. Because we had ELA, social studies, one teacher, math and science, other teacher.
Okay.
And we would switch classes.
So Molly Pitcher has quite a story herself.
Yeah, we read about her and how... Can't really remember the story too much, because I'm not in 5th grade anymore.
Real nice.
But we read about her in our, like, big old Journeys books.
Those things.
Yeah. Remember when we had to take those home in our backpacks?
Yep.
They were like 10 pounds on my little back. I think that's why I have back pain today.
Oh, how the teachers hate the children. Children's suffrage.
I don't know how I got knee pain, though. I don't know why my knees are bad.
Because you're the base for cheer.
Well, they didn't get bad then.
Your knees aren't bad. You need better muscles. Shall we continue? Got a few bits more.
This is the farthest I can hold my thigh is sore.
By July 1776, after more than a year of armed conflict, the Continental Congress concluded that reconciliation with Great Britain was no longer feasible. On June 7th, 1776, Richard Henry Lee introduced a motion to Congress to declare independence. While amenable, some members felt certain colonies were not yet ready. Nevertheless, Congress formed a committee of 5 to comprising John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Robert R. Livingston, and Roger Sherman, to draft a Declaration of Independence. The final text of the Declaration of Independence, primarily drafted by Thomas Jefferson and reviewed by Franklin and Adams, was adopted by the Continental Congress on July 4, 1776. This document summarized the colonists' motivations for seeking independence, articulating their grievances against King George III's tyranny, and proclaiming the fundamental rights of man. Slaves were not considered men at that time. So that's an unfortunate use of their power.
I don't think any man or woman with a different skin color were really considered people at that time.
Sad truth.
Not really in the 1930s either. Like sharecropping.
Took a while.
Roll of Thunder. Hear my cry.
That sounds like it could get its own episode too.
The book.
Well, there you go.
I read it in ELA. Pretty good.
All right, we can dive into that. Keep on going.
1930 sharecropping.
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 Okay, I don't know anything about that. We can learn about it. We must finish this one first.
We gotta get through the 1700s before we get even to the 1800s.
True. Civil War is a whole menagerie. You understand? We could go through history and a timeline.
And this is just American history.
Yes.
And go to ancient India.
Focus.
The Declaration.
Yep. See? Declaration. That's how you decorate the Declaration. Try again.
I need to get my laughs out. The Declaration of Independence served at a crucial practical purpose in international relations. By formally declaring themselves an independent nation, the American colonists were able to confirm an official alliance with the government of France, thereby securing vital French assistance in the war against Great Britain. This formal declaration...
I'm
laughing.
This formal
declaration was a
prerequisite
as French officials would not consider an alliance without the colonies first asserting their sovereignty. The Declaration... Oh my God. The Declaration thus transformed a colonial rebellion into a legitimate international conflict between sovereign entities, allowing foreign powers like France to openly support the American cause without violating international norms by interfering in another nation's internal affairs. This underscores the strategic geopolitical dimension of formally declaring independence.
Which I'm pretty sure the United States of America was the first in many countries to declare independence from their motherland, per se. And it's interesting how France had to, they were like, whoa, that's like, we can't go into somebody else's house and be like, we're taking the kids, you guys figure it out. So first the kids had to be like, we're not part of the house anymore. And then France would be like, all right, we got your back. I mean, that's how it works. This is like a NATO thing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about NATO at some point too.
Those DECL words get me.
Declaration. I can't even say it wrong. Like decorate, but decoration. I don't know.
Declaration.
Declaration.
Relation, but with the deck.
Check it out. This
The
is how I
decks
say
are
it.
friends.
The long-term significance of the Declaration is profound. Maybe I should just start this whole thing over. The long-term significance of the Declaration is profound. It became a foundational document outlining the rights of individuals and the justification for fighting for liberty. It was intended not only to unite Americans under a common cause, but also to announce to the world the birth of a new country. While the British government initially dismissed the Declaration as a trivial document issued by disgruntled colonists, its most important diplomatic effect was to pave the way for recognition of the United States by friendly foreign governments. Formal recognition by Spain and Britain itself, however, would only come with the 1783 Treaty of Paris, which officially ended the War of the American Revolution.
Was I on the wrong paragraph? I was reading the wrong paragraph.
When?
I was looking at the wrong one.
You were following along on the wrong one?
Yeah.
You just zoned right on out, huh?
I was trying to find where you were.
The very document programming?
Did I go up?
Where are you? You're a mess.
Hmm?
Where are you?
Where did I go?
This is crazy.
Hello?
Oh, we should be on the page before this.
The long-term significance?
Yeah.
Is that where I go in?
Yep, get on it.
The long-term significance of the Declaration is profound.
Wait. No, that's the one I just read. Go to the very document.
The very document proclaiming that all men are created equal was drafted in a society where slavery was deeply entrenched, highlighting a profound and enduring contradiction at the heart of the American founding. Thomas Jefferson, the primary author, included a clause in his initial draft blaming King George III for the transatlantic slave trade, but this passage was removed from the final version. Furthermore, a prominent advocate for liberty, Patrick Henry, himself, enslaved over 60 individuals. This historical reality reveals that the pursuit of liberty and self-governance coexisted with the institution of slavery. The deletion of the anti-slavery clause suggests a pragmatic compromise, prioritizing colonial unity for the immediate goal of independence over the immediate realization of universal human rights. This tension between imposed ideals and lived realities would profoundly shape the nation's future, remaining a critical aspect of its historical narrative.
Quite so. Independence Day in the United States is widely celebrated with a variety of public and private events that commemorate the nation's history, government, and traditions. The day is commonly associated with festive displays of fireworks, grand parades, community barbecues, lively carnivals, local fairs, and picnics. Families frequently mark Independence Day by hosting or attending picnics or barbecues, utilizing the public holiday, which sometimes creates a long weekend, to gather with relatives and friends. Parades are a ubiquitous feature in many towns and cities, often extending for hours and featuring numerous floats and participants. These celebrations collectively reinforce a sense of national pride and unity, not to mention a collective practice of capitalism. But that's how the United States works.
Yeah. No comment.
All right. We're going to be ending this pretty soon because we're coming up on the answer to the question that we posed, even though there's quite a bit of notes to go and we could continue further, but those notes include the who's its and what's its of how India became independent and Mexico and Brazil. I think we're going to save those stories for different episodes. So, you want to read that Independence Days across the globe? Blah, 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 blah.
Independence Days across the globe reflect a myriad of historical contexts from liberation from colonial rule to the establishment of new political systems or the unification of disparate regions. These celebrations underscore the universal human aspiration for self-determination and sovereignty. The dates chosen for these national holidays often mark pivotal moments, such as the formal Declaration of Independence, the start of a Revolutionary War, and the end of a colonial era, or the adoption of a new constitution.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways a country declares their independence or starts their independence or something. I think they're interesting. There's just so many different ways for different countries to do it. But here's the question. Here are the top 5 countries from which other countries have declared independence in descending order. So number 5 is the least of the top 5. We're going to go to the number 1. So number 5, Portugal, with 7 countries declaring independence from them, including Brazil in 1822, Angola in 1975, Mozambique also in 1975, East Timor in 2002, just to name a few of those 7 countries. And it's crazy that they're up to this point. I don't know, that seems like the most recent one. I'm sure there's some that are even more recent. I think Hong Kong declared independence in recent times from the United Kingdom. Let me look that up. You read the next one. Number 4, Soviet Union.
Number 4, Soviet Union, USSR, with 15 countries. The Soviet Union, or USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, collapsed in 1991, thus creating independence for 15 countries, including Ukraine, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Kazakhstan, Georgia, just to name a few.
So 2002 seems like it might be the most recent country to declare independence in contemporary recent times. They hand over Hong Kong from the United Kingdom to the People's Republic of China was at midnight on 1 July 1997. So Hong Kong was handed over from the UK in 1997. Still relatively soon in recent times. Number 3 in the top 5 countries from which other countries have declared independence. Spain, with 18 countries, including Mexico in 1810, Colombia also in 1810, Argentina in 1816, and Peru in 1821, just to name a few of those 18 countries.
Number 2 is France with 28 countries, including Vietnam, 1954, Senegal, 1960, Madagascar, also 1960, and Algeria, 1962, just to name a few.
Here we go. Kind of already led to it. The country that holds the title of greatest exporter of Independence Days is...
I don't think this is very surprising.
No, it's not, because they were everywhere. The United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Read that number. Look at that number.
62 countries
have declared independence from the United Kingdom.
Us being the first.
Or Great Britain, or whatever one. Yep, we were the first. Stick that feather in your cap, or whatever the term is. You can put a little pep in your step while you... No?
Not for pep in your step, but not feather in your cap.
Because you're 12.
Yeah.
Now, are you more proud to be American now? That you know that the United States of America was the first country to declare independence from another country?
Not currently with the current events going on.
Proud to be... Oh.
Not that song
yet. The United States, obviously, one of 62, first of 62 countries to declare independence from the UK. Other countries include India in 1947. India's big. Nigeria in 1960. Jamaica in 1962. Kenya in 1963. Just to name a few. We could probably do multiple episodes on countries and how they declare their independence from the United Kingdom. 62 different countries celebrate Independence Days. Maybe I'll put together a timeline or something to determine if every single day of the year is an Independence Day for a country from some other country. It might be. There's enough countries. Is there enough countries? Is there 365 countries? Also a good question to answer. I don't know.
I'll answer it right now.
How many countries are there? How many Independence Days are there in the whole wide world? Is Honduras?
I'm only going to ask the countries question because I don't want to spoil that other question.
Okay. And then we'll end this episode. Pardon me. No, take your time. With your hunting and pecking of the letters on the keyboard.
195 countries in the world.
So not every day is an Independence Day for a different country. You could have 195, potentially.
You can have a couple months.
Interesting.
About a month and a work week. No, not just a month.
6 months. 6 months and 2 weeks. Plus one.
30, 60, 90, 120, 180, 210. So...
The gears are turning. You got it? You got it yet? 195. 180 goes into...
almost 2 weeks.
Or 15 days.
Almost 2 weeks.
More than 2 weeks.
It's still almost.
So roughly, we don't know for sure, but there could be roughly 6 months, 2 weeks, and 1 day of Independence Days that are celebrated every year.
If you don't count, if you just make it like 30 days. It's just an estimate.
Right. Approximately. We could do so many. We do so many episodes on who's it's and what's it's of Independence Days of all kinds of places like Nicaragua, Guatemala, Uruguay. There's a table here. See? Panama.
I was looking at it. I was looking at it earlier and I was like,
Turkey?
Holy dang, there's a lot
Belarus.
of countries.
But
Papua New Guinea.
You read the thing about Russia, USSR. So they dropped a bunch of countries when the USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, collapsed in 1991. So 15 countries all at once got their independence.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now we have Russia, not the Soviet Union.
Yes. Putin.
Vladimir Putin.
That guy.
Poutine.
Oh man, that's different.
That's a food.
That's a delicious delicacy.
Not Putin. Poutine.
Pooping?
Now that's not a delicious delicacy for the leader of Russia.
Yep, we're not going there. That's different. It's a whole other thing.
That's your solid waste that comes from your body. Your feces.
Question brought.
Question answered. At least for now.
A production of Wayward Things Network.